Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here. And today I want to talk to you guys about Sinister 2, the sequel to, you guessed it, Sinister. I reviewed that movie years ago when it first came out. I liked the movie. There were a few minor things that kind of bothered me about it, but overall, I liked Sinister. After seeing Sinister 2, I've developed an all new adoration for the original Sinister. But I'll get into all that later. The plot for Sinister 2 revolves around the deputy character from the first film who was helping Ethan Hawke's character do research. He has set out on this crusade to end the Bagul insanity. As you guys may remember from the original film, there's this weird series of events that has to happen before Bagul can fully sort of possess or influence or whatever he does to cause a child to kill his family. Bagul then takes the child into his nether realm and feeds off their spirit, soul, essence, what have you. And this deputy character has discovered what he thinks is a crime scene that was linked to Bagul. He shows up at this house and finds that a young woman and her two children are living there. They're on the run from their abusive father and husband. And that's pretty much the plot. And that's pretty much, for the most part, everything that happens in the movie. And the plot of the film and just the overall story of the movie, a lot of it really doesn't make sense. A lot of it is just so thinly, it's so thin you can almost see through it. It's almost transparent. And let me just start the review by saying this. Sinister 2 is not scary in the least. It's not suspenseful in the least. They don't even attempt boo scares in the movie. They don't even attempt to throw some boo scare, stinger on the soundtrack moments at you. There's maybe 2 at the most, 3. There weren't many, and I was expecting this to just be a boo scare, stinger, really loud, jarring kind of movie. And it's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. Sinister 2 falls into a lot of the same sort of holes that a lot of sequels fall into. It tries to explain way too much of, what Bagul is, why Bagul does what he does, so on and so forth. When, I mean, really, we kind of already know that. We're walking into this movie. We've seen the original. I'm sure most of us who are watching Sinister 2 have seen the original Sinister. So we know how that movie ends. We know what Bagul's after. We know what these little ghostly children who are running around, they're there to influence this new kid to do all sorts of bad stuff. And they show way too much of Bagul. And the one thing that I really liked about the original Sinister was I thought the character of Bagul was really cool. He was a great villain. He looked great. The writer and director of the original Sinister, Scott Derrickson, did a great job of kind of keeping him in the shadows, just showing flashes of him. Here, Bagul's everywhere. Bagul is everywhere. If there's a reflective surface, Bagul's there for no other reason than to just be chilling out in a reflective surface. He's just around everywhere, and it doesn't make sense because nobody can really see him. Yet he's just there, just in the background, like, hey. It just doesn't make sense. A lot of it just absolutely does not make sense. Like, for instance, the young lady who's played by Shannon Sossamon, who I think is a great actress. She's probably the best part of this movie. Shannon Sossamon is the best part of this movie. Great actress. I've liked her in just about everything I've seen her in. I'm not sure why she doesn't do more. She definitely needs and deserves, I think, some better material than this. She's hiding her 2 children from the abusive husband. And when I say abusive, this guy is portrayed as quite possibly the most over-the-top, just jerk in film history. To the point where I was sitting in the theater and I'm thinking, how did she marry him? How did they get beyond the first date, beyond the first 5 minutes of the first date? Because literally, there's a dinner sequence where one of the kids isn't eating. And the dad goes, "Why aren't you eating?" "I'm not hungry." "We're going to go out tomorrow and you're going to need that energy." And he's like slamming mashed potatoes in the kid's face. He goes from 0 to slamming mashed potatoes in the kid's face like that. I don't know how they got beyond the first 5 minutes of that date. It's like, hey, how are you? I'm good. What's your favorite color? Black. Black, you whore. I hate you. You know, I don't understand. I don't. That is literally how this character is portrayed. He is. It's a mess. It's a mess. The portrayal of this father, this abusive husband, this abusive father is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But anyway, she's on the run. She's paranoid. She's hiding her kids. Then one day, here comes the deputy character. He shows up on her property. He's like, hey, I'm a total stranger, but there were a bunch of murders that happened here. Is it okay if I just kind of snoop around and just whatever? Sure. She's like, go right ahead. Here, have some coffee. The ending of the movie, they try and throw like a twist at you. I won't give too much away. The acting from the children in the film is really bad. And they're children, I understand it. You know, they're not, you know, this isn't Meryl Streep. You know, well, this isn't a young Meryl Streep here. This isn't a young, you know what I mean, Robert De Niro. These are kids. But those performances, and really those performances carry a lot of the movie. I'm talking about the creepy kids and, you know, the two boys who are living in the house who are seeing the creepy kids and having nightmares, yada, yada, yada. Those performances are really not good. Those performances are really not good at all. And they take you out of the movie just about every time they're there, and they're there a lot. The gentleman who played the deputy from the first film is back. He's very, very likable. He's kind of a stumbling kind of hero, but I liked his performance. I just liked his character, period. I loved Shannon Sossman in the film. She's really the best thing about the movie. It's just not scary. The bottom line is it's not scary. It's not suspenseful. They don't even really they don't even try to scare you with boo scares. I'm not sure what they were thinking, because the atmosphere is not scary. The setting is kind of, I mean, it's set on like a farm, and there's a cornfield around it. So, I mean, of course, there's lots of, you know, you're going to be watching this and thinking of Children of the Corn more than once. But they don't really do anything with it. And that was one of the qualms I had with the original Sinister, was that it felt too located in just this one house. I really wish they would have opened it up a little bit more. In Sinister 2, they open it up, but they don't do anything with the other locations that they open it up to, really. It's just not very good. And as I was driving home from the theater, I was thinking back on the original Sinister, and I was just thinking, wow, it was so much better. It was so much better. And I was trying to think of the things that the things that I had problems with about it. And in comparison to Sinister 2, they're very small quabbles. Very, very small quabbles. To the point where I'm thinking now, I mean, the original Sinister, I would put it right up there with some of the better horror films that we've got over the past decade, to be perfectly honest, at this point. That film did a lot of things right. Sinister 2, unfortunately, didn't try to copy very many of those things. And if they did, I couldn't tell, because they were doing it very, very poorly. Yeah, just not great, and like I said, not scary in the least, not suspenseful in the least. They show Bagul way too much. They try to explain way too much. The child acting in the film is not good. The best thing about this movie is Shannon Sossman, and I really hope she gets some better material going forward, because she is a really good actress, and she's just likable on screen, I think. So, yeah, unfortunately, not a lot to see here with Sinister 2. The second time around, it's not so sinister, put it that way. Not so sinister the second time around. So, anyway, if you guys have seen Sinister 2, please let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. If not, this is definitely something I think you can wait for Netflix, for Hulu. At the most, maybe a Redbox rental, but that's about it. Anyway. Until next time, you guys take it easy. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.